This is Joan. I'm always going to say this last name wrong several times. Sternbach. I do apologise. Okay, so these images are made on wet plate collodion tintypes. Again, this white cube sort of background referencing the fact that she's an artist. Very nice image. Again, I like the fact that there's a starter image to the page, so introduce herself. This is what I do, this is what I am. Social media. Very interesting aspect for her, being that she's using predominantly in most of her, or quite a lot of her work, tintypes. It's a nice bit of a contradiction there from, old style to new. So the home page, very little information, doesn't need to come across much. Gallery, drop down box, so you can select what you're looking for. If you're looking for the overall, you can just go through, but if you're looking for a specific type, in my case, Surfland, or as the book's called, Surfsight's Tintypes. A wide range of images. I think in this one she's even, again, this little sort of thumbnail series. A few of these files are obviously a bit bigger than others, or my internet's slow, one or the other. But the gaps, again, that's to be expected. These images are quite big scans in quality, then reduced again for web, but would still carry a bit of a lag. Goes through, get the information, which is nice, being told where it was, size, dates, and what have you. I do like the images, it's quite an interesting one. Like the divide, it drops down a little bit so the camera, the camera's moved, but in all, nice series of images. Portraits as well, which is interesting. I like this factor that she's taken this landscape effect and turned it into portraits. Flicks through the images. Again, this is where it's a larger file and hasn't quite loaded properly. It's nice though. I like this aspect where the title drops away from, so you've got more of the image as you scroll down. Okay, so this is the about page. Again, nice little formal image showing you. This one's a bit different. This one shows you her at work photographing. I like that it's referenced that it's somebody else's image. That's quite nice to be accredited in someone else's work. Again, knowing somebody builds work, builds creation, then that with the social media aspect. Books. I personally have this Surfsight Tintype book. I love it. Such a nice book. Although I think the images come across nicer in book print than they do in here. Like they've got this really odd yellowy sort of nastier tinge than they have in print. Where you can buy the books from, who you can contact. Oh, sorry, that's the next book. Contacts. It's nice. And shop. That's a nice aspect that you can buy things. Again, that's the book I was mentioning, Surfsight Tintypes. Looks a lot better than that cover does. That's a bit grey than the actual book is. That might just be my display, but not too sure. Details. I think they might be edition differences. Yeah. Nice set of books. Nice difference. I like that you can see that it's a book or a print, as well as what it is, the description. That's an important aspect for sales. You're telling the buyer what they're getting. In the white background referencing gallery or paper. I really like her work. I'd like to have emulated this more in my own practice, as in my own photographic work. But I still like the way I've gone with my work, my layout. For me, this square format isn't the most appealing way for showing this. especially again, like I mentioned in another post on my practice on my webpage, this sudden colour drop and colour change doesn't lead on nicely. It's a bit detracting. Still nice images, but just black and brown, yellow, brown, black. It's... These ones are okay, like this colour cast here, and colour change is nice, but collectively it's a bit nah. Weebly doesn't offer this service of this little drop down hatch, but that would be nice if they did. And their spacing's a bit poor as well, like text and pictures don't go very well nicely together. So I think I need to do this separately, or have a drop down section, perhaps, a bio, and then that's something to consider. Yeah, this is Jones' work. Quite like it. I like this factor that you can download PDFs as well, so you can get, again, you can keep something of this. You can keep referencing back to it.